What's good, guys? Mitchell FX here. Just doing the usual rundown of the day, see where the markets have gone, see where they're potentially heading, and to see if we can see any setups that are going to come up for tomorrow or the rest of the week. So today is Wednesday, the 4th of June, 2025. Oops, and it is 9 p.m. UK time. So let's jump straight in. In the past, I've been going through every single one. I've decided to just cut it down a little bit as the videos are quite long. So I've decided just to cut it down a little bit, pick the main ones that people trade. And hopefully, that's beneficial to some people out there. So straight off the bat, this was our zone for a potential buy that I drew for a break and retest. Looks like it hasn't retested as of yet. There is a potential for it to do that in the future. However, as of right now, or today rather, it hasn't done that. I'm thinking more somewhere here now. I mean, if we break this down, we can see it's now created. It's broke this level here, so we had a low, started to come up a little bit, and instead of breaking back down it's now broke past up the other way to the upside. So it's made of change of character right here. So we've got change of character. It's pulled back to retest this resistance, which has now made support. Okay, it broke back up, it retested this zone and pushed up. So this has clarified as now a support zone. So now it looks like we have a break of structure up here. So hopefully it is now going to continue to the upside. So I'm now looking somewhere around this level. And if we want to draw it to the left, it looks like it's, it hasn't quite tapped in. It hasn't quite tapped in this area. But if we drop it down a little bit, we can sort of see it did break and pull back a little, touch and break back a little bit there. Come back down, it almost tapped in there. In fact, I'm going to break it down to this level here. I'm liking the look of that, and straight away, it's now tapped in. It's tapped in. We've had a break, and it's come back down. So now, I'm thinking what it might do is test this level here somewhere like this and then push back up. I'm also looking at this fair value gap right here, which straight away narrows it down to a point of interest. So we've got a bit of support. So again, if we just drop it down the time frames a little bit, straight away the support here. I just like to look at the bigger time frames. Just gets rid of all that. I mean, you look at all that, how much cleaner that is, and then you drop it down to these smaller time frames. It's just, there's so many candles to look at. It's just easier just to do this, bunch it all up into one big candle. Happy days. So I am now thinking it might come back down to this level somewhere here, within this zone somewhere here. So if we was to come here, anywhere here, I'm thinking, and let's just have a look at the Fibonacci just to see. So we are at 38 level. If you're new to trading, everybody knows that the golden zone is the prime area to enter. However, it's not always valid. It's just a rule of thumb that this gold area is always the more likely chance to buy. However, you can buy at these levels. So I'm looking right here. We have the Fibonacci level 38.2. We've got a fair value gap, and we have support. So we might see a pullback to this level and then push back up to the top, if not break past it, or we might see just a straight push up from here, break, retest to the top. So I'm not doing anything as of yet. Obviously it's the end of the day, market's closing 43 minutes. So there's no point doing anything yet, but that is my analysis for AUD USD. Oh my gosh, possible continuation back to the upside. And again, if you look at the weekly, it's very bullish. Daily, it is a daily bullish candle. It's almost an engulfing candle. If this week was slightly longer than this week, then that would be a bullish engulfing, which there or thereabouts confirms it will go up. So that is my bias for AUD USD. Potential buy, what day is it? Wednesday, for Thursday or Friday. Let's see if there is a buy that comes up somewhere in this area. Bitcoin, let's have a look at Bitcoin. Okay, so it has retested where I said. Weekly bias is a sell. Daily bias is a sell. So potentially now tomorrow will also be a sell. You know, you do tend to get 3-4 candles in a row once it starts to pull back and retest areas. So potential sell now. I said the other day, I think it'll come back down to this sort of level, you know, nigh on 100,000 again, before going back up. But if we have a look right here, let's draw it on. So we've got high, low, highs, higher lows being created, and then all of a sudden we've got a big push down. Now if we drag this over here, right, we've got higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and this area here, this area right here, is what's giving me the bias for the down. So from this level, from there, we have a change of character. So we've got breaker structure, breaker structure, breaker structure. Oh my gosh, what is going on with me? Break of structure. Didn't break this structure. It's now come the opposite direction. So we have a change of character. So from here, we might see something like this that now starts to take out all the liquidity from these levels and then come all the way back down to there. So if I put that back roughly where it was somewhere like that. Oh good gosh. And then draw that and then put that back where I said, which is around there. You can sort of see what I was saying. So we might get a pullback. I mean, it might come all the way back up here again, but it looks like it's heading back down to our zone, back to the support right at the bottom. So my bias for Bitcoin is sell. So we've got buy AUD, sell Bitcoin for this rest of the week. Straight off the bat, oh gosh, looks like it's retested in beautifully today into my zone that I drew. We had a fair value gap here, which had been respected, created a bit of support, re-tap back into this fair value gap. For those that don't know how to draw fair value gaps, I have done a video on it if anybody wants to watch it. I've got a fair value gap right there. You know, 1, 2, 3. I know this is red, however, there is still a gap, so that is valid, and it is in that fair value gap, and it looks like it has respected that fair value gap. It's on this support. So to narrow it down, instead of say buying here, by now drawing support inside the fair value gap, you can enter a buy anywhere in here, because you've got 2 confirmations. So instead of buying there and say getting stopped out, you could buy anywhere from here, looking straight away you're not stopped out. So let's just have a look. It looks like it's now pushing back up. Let me get rid of that fair value gap. Weekly bias. Okay, kind of in the middle. I still think this is a buy bias. Daily bias is up. Let's just draw the fib on the daily, see what's going on, see what I was saying about those levels. The 38 doesn't always have to come into the golden zone, but you can still buy at these levels. or there or thereabouts. 38. 4 hour. Yeah, I think this is gonna. We have got a change of character right here. Again, same as Bitcoin. High, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, high. It come down past the lower low, so we've got a change of character. Pull back up to retest this neckline right here on this head. I think personally this is going to continue to go up, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's over the next couple of days. It might come back up to this top here and back down, something like that. But I'm a bias on Euro GBP. Moving on to Euro USD. I think that was something I drew earlier, if I'm honest. Or yesterday. Forgot to delete it. So I said break and retest if it pushed up from here. It's Tuesday. I said it was in this zone yesterday. I said if it pushes up, and that's why I draw the fair value gap. I said if it pushes up out the fair value gap, which it has. I said yesterday I'd be looking for something to break and retest. So if you look at this, high, 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 low, high, 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 low, retest there, push up, look at the difference. See what I'm saying? How it's come back down. And now Euro GBP is pushing up. Euro USD. They tend to do the same there or thereabouts. So possible buy side for Euro USD. I am definitely buy side if it breaks and retests. We can always also draw a little bit of resistance at the top, at the high point. Let's just have a look to the left if we drag it across. Couple of tap-ins, which is all you need. And for about 3 tap-ins. So I am buy side for Euro USD, waiting for somewhere to break and retest GBP. So I said yesterday, possible break and retest. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Possible break and retest from this level. But I'm pretty sure I did say it could also come back down to this trend line, which it looks like it is doing. So if we switch to the weekly, we can see it is sell side on the weekly. The daily is very sell side-ish, very bearish. We have our trend line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. I think personally it is going to tap into this and break through. So I am very much sell side. It could even, oh my gosh, could even do something like this. So it could tap in, break and retest. It could just literally just go straight through. It could just sort of consolidate here for a little bit, bounce off a few times, 4 or 5 times. Kind of what it does here, just sort of, the market deciding what it needs to do. Again, this is why you don't want to be doing the smaller time frames. I mean, trying to do that, it just cuts all that out. Bigger time frame straight away. Okay, I can see where I am. I can see where it's going. Possibility of sell coming up right there. I am gonna draw support there. We've got loads of tap-ins across there, so I think it could either do a little bit like this did, a bit of a fake out, retest the trend line and come back down. But either way, I am sell side for GJ, GBP, JPY, Great British Pound, Japanese Yen. I definitely keep my eye on that for tomorrow. GBP, USD. So definitely tapped in, kind of consolidated around this level here, pushed up. It looks like it's broken retest again. If you do drop it down a little bit, you can see that break retest. Yes, it has come down a little bit. Nothing too major. You don't want to be entering just because it pulls back. So let's say it taps in right now. You don't want to be buying because of that. You want to just be playing it steady, not being too silly about it. No stressing. There is a fair value gap right there. So I would be saying anywhere that the fair value gap and the resistance touches, I would be considering a buy. So there's the fair value gap here. In fact, let me change that color just so you can see for this example. Oh my gosh, why is it not? There we go. So where the green and the yellow touch, that's where I'll be looking to buy. And then your stop loss just below. Target the top straight away. 2.5 to 1. So that's a good risk to reward. Even if you bought at the top, stop loss just below, and did back there, it's almost a 2 to 1, but you could probably, if all honesty, if it's going to push up, you could probably sit on it and just for it to break this top a little bit. But either way, I am buy side for GU. Let me just check on what have I done? So weekly is very, very bullish. Got higher highs, higher lows all the way up. This week here is very bullish. The daily is bullish. 4 hour, we've got higher highs, higher lows. So again, let me just draw this and move to the side. So we've got our low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Let me just drag that to the side. And as you can see, every high is a rough area for support resistance. So like I said here, this could either break after pick the wrong line. This could either break, retest, and continue. See how it's continued that all the way? So that is what I am looking for when I do my analysis. So I am very much buy side for GU. I'm just waiting for that break and retest. See if it happens tomorrow or Friday. If not, no stress. Don't click anything, because as long as you're not clicking anything, you're not losing money. USD JPY, it looks like it's respected our area. I am going to go off this area right here. Gosh, I need to change that color again. Change it back. So I am sell side, I think, looking by that. Yep, so weekly is sell side, daily is very sell side, very bearish, and we have tapped in almost to this support here. I am very sell side still. I do think it is gonna push down more depending on how this candle closes. There will be a fair value gap. Let's just pretend this candle's closed right now. So there is a fair value gap right there. I'm going to draw this in red. There is a fair value gap right there. Let's just draw this Fibonacci. Again, there is a level there, potential to be selling from, and if you come across that line, it taps in very nice to this support here. So potential sell maybe around this area. I'm not saying do it, I'm just saying potential continuation to the downside. However, as of right now, like I say, market's closed. No stress, no stress. Actually, let me draw that back up, what I just did. Where's my fib? Oh gosh, what have I done? And again, if you want to come from this support here, very big support. But again, the more stuff you can do to that, the more it just narrows it down. Let me change the color of that actually, because that overlays. So straight away, you know, somewhere within this area may be a sell. Back down to the downside. You know, stop loss somewhere there maybe. Continue it all the way back down. Take out this liquidity at the bottom. If you sell anywhere in there really, then that could be a good shout. But again, just because it enters these areas, do not enter. This is where you want to be. Dropping it down to maybe the 2 or 1 hour. So you can see these bullish or bearish candles coming out of the zones. Do not just, oh my gosh, do not just enter willy-nilly. You want to be looking like this one, for example. Okay, let's say you entered right there just because it tapped in. Stop loss just below. Target these tops here. You'd have lost that one. Why? Because you entered it straight away. If you'd have just waited patiently and waited for these big, you know, you got 1, 2, 3 bullish candles right there. If you'd have just been a bit more patient and then waited as this started to come out, you think, oh, this is looking bullish now. I mean, if you'd have literally sat on that, I mean, look where it did go in the end. I mean, you know, like a 10 to 1. I mean, I wouldn't have held it that long, but you know, you could have easily hit a 2 to 1 back up to this area here, all these tap-ins. So I said I am bearish for USD JPY. XAU USD. Let's have a little look. I like to, the reason I got all this set up for the weeks, because I do like to follow gold. I am very, 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 very into gold. Gold is my favorite pair to trade. Let me just have a little look. Daily. So you got, what's the week saying? Oh gosh, don't do this to me, it's froze. So we got a weekly bullish, daily bullish, 4 hour. Right, I think, if I'm honest, it'll pull back a little bit again, just sort of tap into this zone maybe, and then continuation back to the upside. Gold is one of my favorite pairs to trade, to be honest. In fact, gold is probably 90% of my trades is gold, my own personal ones. This is one I took live the other week. It took 2 days to hit TP. Since then, I've been so unfortunate. I wanted to get into a buy here. Didn't tap in. I had my flipping my buy limit or buy stop, whatever it's called, set here, ready to enter. I was unsure, so that was 1, so I would have had 2 in a row. I was gonna enter a sell, but I didn't, because I tend to buy more than I sell more, because in my opinion gold will always go up, it will never come down. So I was gonna sell here, but I never did. I was then unsure when it got to this area here whether to buy or to wait until it tapped into the line, into the trend line. I hesitated, ended up missing out on both. If I did enter it, would have hit stop loss in all honesty. Here I was just hesitated. By the time it's just too late and I missed it. I was gonna enter here, same scenario. I was like, oh, it's gonna tap back into the trend line. Never did. Never bought. So I missed out on like 3 opportunities here. So I would have hit TP there, would have hit TP there. I was again, I missed this trade. I just simply wasn't looking. I forgot to set my alerts. That would have hit TP, so I am a little bit annoyed, but at the same time I'm not, because yes, I've just missed out on like 4 or 5 trades that would have hit in a row. However, I'm not, because at the end of the day, if you're not clicking, you're not losing. So, you know, the money stays in my account for now. Let's just wait for a nice little break and retest, which is basically what it looks like it's attempting to do. Again, let's just draw the fib from here. Straight away in the golden zone, I'm liking the look at that. We have a fair value gap. Let's say this candle closes right there. So really overlap all the everything you can see. You know, somewhere here maybe. You know, I'd probably risk it and buy here. 3365 area. Stop loss, you know, just below. And back to the buy side. So again, gold. I mean, to be fair, 9 times out of 10, I'm always bullish on gold. Like I say, in my opinion, gold will always go up. It's one of those things. Everybody's got gold. Look at all the gold that's in the world, in the banks, in the country's banks. They do not want gold to come down. So That is my opinion on gold. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it if you made it to the end. If you could give us a like and a subscribe if you haven't already, I would appreciate it massively, as I'm trying to get more into these videos, get more out there, and hopefully we can all grow together. Peace out.